Welcome back. This is a video about how to become a rad tech. We're following a series on my website. If you're just viewing this on YouTube, there's a X-ray tech survival guide that I've created on my website, and we're following along there. So I'll put a link in the description. All the extra info, tips and tricks and whatnot are in the on the website side of this. So please check that out if you're interested. But we started out with some basic stuff. You're here because you're interested in the world of radiography, or maybe moving on to MR, CT, IR, mammo, all the plethora of other things we can do. And we've kind of talked about the basics. We've gone over who the course is for, the reasons I got into the field. We've talked a little bit about forensic radiography and some fun facts on the side. But we've gone over what a radiology tech is, with the history of the ARRT so far, and the board exam and what all's included in that, which is kind of our cornerstone of everything we do. And for the most part, what we do in the field and how long it takes to go to school to do this. So aside from the pay, which we've already discussed, today we're going to talk about quickly just how it is you become an X-ray tech, and that includes the caveats of picking a school and entrance exams and interviews and point systems. And so just remember, this is a high level overview of the career path. All we're really doing here is talking about the basics. If you decide you want to pursue the career, I get much more detailed in future episodes about how to nail your interview and which entrance exams you have to take and how to pass them, methods for checking out the schools you've got on your radar and checking out the teachers and things like that. Because the more you know about the process, the better off you'll be when you apply. So there's a list of accredited X-ray schools out there. And that's posted on my blog. You can click a link. The ARRT has a page that shows you, you drop down to what state you're in, and that lists all the schools. In fact, I can show you that real quick. Let's do that. Let's see, pop that on here. There we go. And I believe what we will do is share a screen. I don't know how I ever got along with that dual screens. I had 3 screens at one point around. It was awesome. Man, when I get a desk big enough to do that again, I will definitely do that again. So let's go quick screen share here. Do right there. And then this pops me up in the corner, right? But here's the ARRT.org, and this link is posted in the description on my blog. But you just find, oh, it's not a drop down for the state, it's a drop down for what modality you're interested in. So we're just going over basic X-ray for now. So you click radiography, and then it gives you every state, everything, everywhere you can find a approved, accredited X-ray school. So if you want to sort by state and you live in just Alaska, for starters, you got one option up here, and it lists Catherine M. Slagle. One of the things I go over in my videos is how to research people, and for the most part, all professionals are listed on LinkedIn. It's like the online repository of resumes. And I'm sure you already know who LinkedIn is, what it is. And believe it or not, there's more than one. Well, they spell them different. I wonder, Catherine Slagle. So you would go here, you would type them in, you would find them. This is not her. But once you find a person, Then you can go to their profile and look and see what their experience is, what schools they went to, what degrees they have, honors they've received, interest, all this stuff you put into a little dossier as if you were the FBI checking someone out, and you learn more about them. That way, when you're in an interview, for example, to get into the school, and you're making conversation, you could say, if you have a tie to anything in here, somebody that went to one of their schools, or you've been to their state on a vacation or whatever, somehow you tie it together and just casually mention, that I've been there. My dad went to Capital University. However, you can tie that in to make a connection with that person, right? So back to the discussion. We're talking about how to become an X-ray tech. So X-ray school is a 2-year program, and now there's I'll say plus or minus a couple of months, because in general there are 3 criteria that you have to meet according to the ARRT in order to sit for their board exams and go to work. So if you're looking at schools, you'll see some variation in a few months either way, longer or shorter, usually not longer than 2 years, but some of them are figuring out how to cram longer hours in the day, or a lot of schools just go Monday through Thursday and give you Friday off because it's pretty hardcore, those Monday through Thursday. So some schools are just adding the Friday in, which shortens the overall length of the program. But the ARRT is the one who enforces the requirements to take the national board exams. And if you missed that video, go back and watch that one about the ARRT. But there's number of clinical hours that you have to complete. There's number of classroom hours you have to complete. And I've linked to documents for both of those in the blog. So you'll see what the ARRT says about those. But you can't cram 1,600 hours of clinicals and 1,600 hours of classroom hours into a 6-month program. So if you see a program on the internet that says we're an X-ray school and we can get you through in 6 months, it's not a radiography program. It's probably a limited scope, because limited scopes do exist out there, or it's a non-accredited program that's just going to take your money, graduate you, and then you can't get a job because you can't sit for the boards. So just do the math. It needs to be about 2 years to fit all the requirements in for the school. Again, give or take a few months depending on the schedule. So the typical 2-year X-ray school program roughly looks like this. They break it down into years first. First year, you have classes Monday and Wednesday. Actually, when I went, it was classes Monday through Thursday for the whole first semester. And then the second semester, they started dipping you into your clinicals 1 day a week. So you had class Monday through Thursday and clinicals on Friday. And that was just to go meet people, go introduce yourself, go kind of see the department, see the hospital, get a feel for how everything flowed. You don't do anything yet. You're not expected to do anything. It's just getting you introduced and prepared for the clinical environment. And then the second year is when they kind of switch it on you. You go heavy class at first, a little bit of clinicals, and then they switch to heavy clinicals, a little bit of class. So in this particular school that I have on here, first year classes were Monday and Wednesday, and clinicals were Tuesday and Thursday, and they had Fridays off. And then second year was Monday through Thursday clinicals, which is class on Fridays. And if I remember right, mine did that second year. We had pretty much clinicals all week with 1 day of classes, because you knock a lot of your classwork out. If you think about it, they have to teach you a lot of things first before they turn you loose in the clinical environment, right? They have to medical terminology and patient care, and you have to understand a lot of these things before you go out there and actually start working with patients. So you go knock out your 1,600 clinical hours, which if you think about it, if you were to work a regular 40-hour work week, that'd be about 40 weeks of full-time work. So you'll hear X-ray techs complaining that, I'm working for free. I'm actually paying somebody else to work, and it's true. You're paying tuition to go work at a hospital for free, and so you will work. By the time you're done with X-ray school, you will have worked a full-time job for a full year, and you paid to do it. So when people, that's why we take offense, mildly, as time goes by, when people call us button pushers or try to demean what we do. We put a lot into what we do to learn how to be radiographers, and it takes a lot of work. So that's X-Ray School, kind of the helicopter view to apply for the program. There's several steps that you have to do. It can be very intimidating. In our Facebook group, which I link below, we're always talking about this. We're always talking about what the interview questions look like, what they're looking for in the answers to the interview questions. There's portfolios that some schools require, which are kind of like a 3-ring binder full of it's like a big fat resume. It's all the things you've done, all the your volunteer hours, references, all kinds of things. Every school is different, but typically there's an interview. The school will interview you, and we talk about those all the time. And then there's entrance exams. It's basically to test your common knowledge. It's not like an SAT or an MCAT or anything like that. There's a test called a Wonderlic, which I link to, and I think I even have a video on it. The Wonderlic is just a basic exam that just tests. You're at the grocery store and you have $5. You buy a loaf of bread for $2.75. How much change do you get back? Very, very basic questions just to make sure you have the fundamentals of education. A lot of programs are moving to this TEAS exam, TEAS. And if you don't know what that is, go to the Facebook group. We talk about it all the time. And then some schools use a point system to get into the program, and you get different points for different things. I went to Pima Medical Institute, and they had a point system. You could get extra points depending on your age or if you were military. You got points if you were reapplying for second or third or more times. And then you got points for your entrance, your interview, and your entrance exam that you take, and things like that. So there's ways to, kind of strategize on how to get those points as high as possible. And that's going to be in a future video as well. Remember, we're just talking high level here, so you kind of know what you're getting into. Some school require a resume, which I talked about, that portfolio that's compiled in a 3-ring binder. And to find other tips and information about how to get accepted in X-Ray School, I have an article posted below. Let me see. It's called How to Get Accepted into RadTech School, and I go over a lot of the stuff I just talked about, but I'm also going to make a video on it all to explain it in audio-visual form. So in summary, to be a RadTech, you have to apply to the X-ray program. You have to get accepted into the X-ray program. Then you have to successfully complete all the requirements to graduate the X-ray program. And all of that gets you the opportunity to take the ARRT's National Certification Exam, which you have to pass. Then once you pass that, that's still not it, because most states require a state license. You just got certified by the national board. Now you need to get a state license, which is, I'll just say, money grab for the state you're in. Because you're already certified by the organization that says you know what you're doing. Why does the state need to license you? Because they want more money. So does that require a test? Usually not, but some do. Some make you take a test. Some use the ARRT as the test. Mostly, I was in Arizona when I got licensed the first time. You just went down and paid like a, I don't know, $25, $30 fee. And it took them a month to get you that state license for some reason, and you can't work until you get that license. So once you get your state license all figured out, then you can go to work. So that's what it takes to become an X-ray tech. And make no mistake about it, you cannot work until you get that state license in your hand. I remember I was all done with school. I passed my boards. I went down and paid the fee to the state there in Phoenix, and the lady was on vacation. One lady that handled it, and she went on vacation, and I had to wait till she got back, and I couldn't work, or the school could get in trouble for some reason. So there you go, in a nutshell, how to become a rad tech, all the different aspects of the training and the school and what to watch for. They should be about 2 years. We're going to move on. Let's see, the next topic we're going to talk about, we're breaking everything down basically one step at a time here. We're going to do a quick fun fact on the new push for not shielding patients, because we're not shielding our patients anymore if you're following the latest. But then the next question we're going to address is, how old is too old? Is there such a thing as being too old to be a rad tech? I get that question a lot. It's never too late, but we'll give it its own video. And thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll see you on the next one.